Hey everyone, Megan Olivi here in beautiful California. I'm with Ramsey Nijem. Ramsey, we've got one round with you. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock right now, and we're going to talk about a variety of topics. Let's start with this fight you have on Saturday at UFC 177. Diego Ferreira, tell me about your opponent.
Well, I just heard he lost his first name,
Yeah.
Carlos. So that's a victory in itself, so I'm ready to go.
He's undefeated.
Yeah?
You're kind of the testing block for all these undefeated guys. They always throw them at you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about facing yet another guy who has a zero in the loss column?
I feel like undefeated is very vague unless it's like in the UFC. If you're undefeated and you have 5-6 fights undefeated in the UFC, that's a different story. But I mean, outside of the UFC, you don't really know the competition. Even like you can look at someone's record that they're fighting and they beat someone that has another good record, but you don't know who that guy's been fighting. So it's very hard to say unless they're coming from really big organizations, and really the only testing block is really the UFC.
Yeah, and what was the vibe like at Empower as you were preparing for this fight?
Intense, very, very intense. Tarek and me are very intense people, and we show up every day to do one task to get better. And that's the end of the training camp is training camp, and it's time to go. And one of my best training partners now is my little brother, and I don't know if you guys ever seen two brothers fight. It usually gets pretty heated, and so every freaking day would get about heated a little bit more, a little bit more. He has black eyes. We'd hurt each other. We'd beat each other up. And then we'd go home and we'd live together, make dinner.
You guys moved to San Francisco together.
Yeah.
Was it in part because of that gym, because of Empower?
Yeah, the relationship me and Tarek have had, it's been, for years. I've known Tarek and Jake since, he was training with GSP back in the day and are training for the GSP fight. And it was just really, I needed a change. I was struggling. I needed people like-minded. Every camp's different for everybody else. And Tarek's intensity and Jake's, intensity and the way they approach a fight is very similar to mine. So that really helped a lot. Gilbert Melendez, his same approach. These guys come very professional, very serious, and when it's go time, it's go time. None of this pitter-patter joking around.
Right. Now, how has San Francisco treated you when you're not training? Obviously, you don't have a lot of downtime right now, but
Yeah.
Do you enjoy being just in the middle of such a big city?
Yeah, originally I was born out there, so I have a lot of my family there on both sides, my mom's and my dad, so I have a million cousins that live there, and it's great. I love the city. I love going into nice restaurants. I'm a little bit of a foodie, I would say, and I love trying new places and just hanging out and having a great time. It's a very diverse place, and I'm kind of a diverse person.
Tell me about some of the food you like, because I've got to know. I enjoy food as well.
Yeah, my one buddy has a very good Mediterranean French restaurant called Sen's that we always go to. There's Peruvian restaurant, Argentinian, Middle Eastern. I mean, whatever nationality you want to try. There's the top of the food chain, like the very fancy, and then there's the street food that's just as good. These food trucks every day. There's a new food truck somewhere.
What about the shopping? Because I've got to imagine the shopping's pretty good there.
Oh my gosh, I love the shopping. No, I mean it's great. I enjoy dressing nice, and sometimes when I have time, like I like to go out and I go win a bonus. The first thing I bought was cable and internet.
All
what?
right.
I got cable and internet
Good
now.
job,
Yeah,
good job.
yeah. Now I'm living up, living the high life, one step at a time. Me and my little brother, when we first moved out, we're sharing a studio. Now we have a 1-bedroom, so he sleeps in the living room. I have a 1-bedroom. I have my own room now, like a grown adult. Cable, internet. What next? I don't know.
Yeah, and you're doing great in the UFC. You've just put together a little bit of a win streak here. Tell me about your training camp. I read on Twitter that you said emotionally, physically, mentally, you think this was the best camp you've ever had.
It was the hardest camp I've ever had. I just wanted to push myself. At the end of the day, I get ready for a fight no matter what, and I'm gonna go out and fight. But to test myself, my limits as a person, that's kind of something rare that a lot of people don't get to do. So I really pushed myself. Had a lot of great partners coming in, swam with sharks every day on the jiu-jitsu mats, had these world champion black belts coming in trying to rotate on me and submit me, and I just really pushed myself to the limit. I took a lot less days off than I normally do, and I didn't do much other than eat, sleep, and train, and that was, that's a hard thing to do. A lot of people don't realize how hard a training camp is, and it feels good, and now I'm very relaxed. I'm ready to fight because there's literally nothing else I could have physically, mentally, or emotionally done.
Has it been nice just driving down from San Francisco to come to Sacramento for fight week?
Yeah, this has actually been really nice. I brought, my Foreman girl, I brought food, my Blend Tech blender, so I'm just making shakes, eating up in the room. It's a lot easier. Like I can drive to a grocery store whenever I want. I don't have to find a taxi. It's a lot more relaxing. I've had a lot more fun, and it's nice. I mean, it really is. Like, anytime you have a chance to fight close to home, I'm definitely going to jump on that.
Yeah, all right. Well, this is the end of our 5 minutes. I wish we had more time. Ramsey, always a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thanks.